Hey, you clicked on the video. You want to hear about some video games? So if you've been around the channel, you know that I care about video games and I adore them. And it's mostly fighting games and character action games, stuff like that. But there is a type of video game that I care about seemingly a lot more than the ones that have it well off. See, Devil May Cry, for example, I care a lot about that, but mostly because Devil May Cry is kind of in a risky situation where back in the day it didn't make enough money, so Capcom kind of abandoned it, and then they came back to it, what, 10 years later? So there's something kind of similar to that when I care about a type of game. I'll call it the abandoned franchise. I'm talking about franchises that have been completely just abandoned and no one really talks about them. You can say that God Hand is one of those, even though it has a cult following, which I am part of. Join the God Hand cult, please. And others. There's a lot, but I can't really name a lot of them. With that in mind, there's a game that's been on my mind for a while, and which genuinely helped me out of a depressive mood not too long ago. That game is Mad World. If you don't know about Mad World, you're in for a treat. Mad World was released on March 10th in 2009. It was published by Sega and developed by none other than Platinum Games. Hello again, Hideki Kamiya. How nice it is to see you. Actually, Hideki didn't work on this. He was working on Bayonetta. You see, after the commercial release and failure of God Hand, Capcom looked at Clover Studios, Hideki Kamiya's studio, and said, hey, you guys make great IPs, great games, but they don't make us enough money, so we're closing down the studio. Now, with that happening, most of the people from Clover just ran with Hideki Kamiya and Shinji Mikami and made Platinum Games. So Platinum made a deal with Sega, and Sega wanted two games. One was on the Wii called Mad World, and the second was fucking Bayonetta. We all know that Bayonetta is goated. Let's be honest though, if Jack was a hot female character and sexualized to hell and back, yeah, Mad World would still be alive today. Now, obviously, Bayonetta came out on the Wii, the PlayStation 3, and a bunch of them. But Mad World came out only on the Wii, which is kinda sad, since we don't have any other release. So, what are we looking at? See, Mad World's premise is very simple. Kill an enemy the most creative way possible and earn as much points as you can. This is a high score game at its core, but it has so much more to that. First off, let's talk about what we see. The art style for Mad World. Now look, I'm gonna be 100% with you. The art style for Mad World is absolute witchcraft. I have no clue how they managed to put this in a 3D environment so well, but it looks extremely good. Like, it does a lot for me. I would play every game if it looked like Mad World. The models for the game look like PlayStation 2, let's be honest. But the texture work and how they work with lighting somehow looks amazing. I don't get it how they did it, but it looks really good. And the comic art style sometimes fucks up, but it looks fine. The red to outline blood and enemies dying is super fun. I think it's a great way to get away from Nintendo's censoring back in the day. The fact that Mad World made it to the Wii somehow. Second of all, we should talk about the story. Obviously, non-spoiler wise, we'll talk about that later.
you can see, all 8 bridges to Jefferson Island have been cut. There is no traffic getting on or off the island.
Yes, they're demanding that we not approach the city, and we've been told anyone who does will be met with force. But look, let me make this perfectly clear. We have no intention of giving in to any such demands.
No!
Shit be fucked. The idea is that Jefferson Island is taken by terrorists. And it seems like these terrorists have a lot more goddamn gunpowder than the entire Vatican City Police Department. Their instructions are very clear. Don't get too close or we're gonna kill ya. And the mayor is like, okay, but I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna send some CIA agents or whatever. Jack seems like he's part of those CIA agents or whatever and is investigating what is going on. He finds a bunch of thugs fighting for a sponsor of some kind. There he meets Agent 13, representative of sponsor number 13, and wins him over with a single punch. To which Agent 13 says, yo, you're pretty good. I'm gonna enlist you in Death Watch. And basically says, yeah, Death Watch, we kill people for the rich's entertainment, and you will be our champion. Agent 13 shows Jack the ropes and tells him how they do things, what the audience loves about Death Watch, and along the way gives him a few information here, a little bit of information there. Seemingly there's a lot of bidding happening. People put money on certain competitors, and Jack easily starts becoming one of the more interesting competitors in the show. It's like a Twitch stream
with chainsaws.
So how does this game go? You have 14 stages. All of them have a boss at the end, except for one of the last 2. As you start the stage, the game gives you a list of things that you will unlock with the amount of points that you will get. You will get healing items, weapons, bloodbath challenges, and more environmental kills that you can get. And of course the boss at the end. You have 30 minutes to finish the stage. It goes along the line of you have the A button, punches, you have the B button, chainsaw, a dash, backstep, which is a dodge, grab, a throw, a jump, and a jumping attack. Now, most of the time these don't really matter unless you're kind of crowded and having a hard time with enemies or a sub-boss, because most of the time you'll be doing shit like this.
These assholes keep moving. I wish you that street lamp's about business ready. Jack's got to figure out that he's in the ballgame. That fucker's looking a little bush.
Speaking of bush, do you prefer a muff or a landing strip?
This is the optimal way of playing the game.
Nobody stopping me. He blames a copper plea, and I'ma put this mic through their face for trying to mock me, B. Until we falling out, breaking along, we out of control, we down the road. Y'all wanna get it up, then let me know if we can put it on blast and tell it. Until we falling out, breaking along, we out of control, we down the road. Y'all wanna get it up, then let me know if we can put it on blast and tell it. They say they can't believe the way the boy MCs. I bring them in by the million, so now I'm a lead. And every time I speak, them haters rest in peace. I reinforce my spot as the commander-in-chief. I breathe the fire, the pain, had motivation after death to still continue the game. The reason that nobody else can ever sit in my lane. The spark that turns a normal man into one insane. Let's go. Until we falling out, breaking along, we out of control, we down the road. Y'all wanna get it up, then let me know if we can put it on blast and tell it. Until we falling out, breaking along, we out of control, we down the road. Y'all wanna get it up, then let me know if we can put it on blast and tell it. This for my people on the edge. It ain't no reason why you shouldn't be jumping off that ledge.
If you have noticed, there are people talking throughout most of the gameplay, and that is Chris Keeley and Howard Buckshot Holmes gracing your ears as commentators throughout the game. Imagine Michael Cole and Taz from the WWE Attitude Era when they were doing commentary. Imagine if both of them watched people killing each other, and that's the idea for Howard Buckshot Holmes and Chris Keeley.
Jack banged that guy. He banged him hard. Jack is going to be banging guys all night with that gun around. He's going to bang a whole gang of guys. You're saying there's going to be a gang bang? Yes, we will probably see a big old gang bang tonight. Have we played out the whole bang as a reference to sex joke? I can't think of any more. Jack looks much better after the happy onion. I always feel better after the happy ending. Not happy ending, you idiot. Happy onion. Obviously, you've never fucked an onion. That was an impressive orgy of death. You should visit my dungeon after the match. I'll show you an impressive orgy. I bet you will, Tiger.
Hey, yo! Speaking of things that grace your ears, the soundtrack for this game, brother. Did I tell you that Platinum released the hottest mixtape of 2009? And did it again with Max Anarchy? Dude, most of the music that you've been listening to has been from MadWorld. And it's just so good. Just have a listen.
You gotta get paid. More cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these crews now. Ain't that funny? You gotta get paid. More cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these crews now. Ain't that funny?
Cause they can't take the fumes, just service murder time. It's time to let go, let's make it hurt this time. Just give them some more, I need them to see me coming. I need them to run in fear, I need them to think they got a way just to find out I'm here. You to run down the way you can't get. I rock body the style that y'all can't spit. I push you on the left like you take 6. It's my turn to get down and I'm a straight shit. On anybody trying to take it from the boss, go ahead get in line, I'ma serve you a loss. Or maybe I can let it ride, buddy, but it's shit. I'm calm.
Listen close and listen good, you in the dig. I'm only gonna throw this shit out there one time, and you better motherfucking ride receive it. If you can't keep up, you might wanna adjust your motherfucking tempo. I ain't talking too fast, you just listening too motherfucking slow.
Yeah, no, I hate stopping anyone from listening to the soundtrack, but it would be an hour long if we did this. Anyway, after you have your fun during the stages, you'll get a Bloodbath Challenge, which is basically a mini-game that is introduced to you by the Black Baron, my favorite character in the game. He will say something along the lines of,
"Y'all know who I am. That's right, the Bishop of Blood and Carnage, the Black Baron. Now back to this baby. You just toss a motherfucker into this here jet engine and accelerate that ass into the danger zone at 30,000 G's. What's going on, baby?"
And then this happens.
I'm talking to the people. I'm breaking it down. Ah, God, bitch. I'm gonna pimp smack your ass when I get. Oh.
For every Bloodbath Challenge. After that, you go up against the boss, which is fine. None of the bosses are really tough. Sometimes I've had a few issues because of the emulation where I wouldn't do the right thing for the power struggle, but for most part they're pretty easy and fun. The thematics for them is very fun. For me, my most memorable boss is Shogun and Elise. One reason is
Awesome rock on her, though.
and the second is that she has a God Hand reference in there. Jack spanks her like Jean does to the female characters in God Hand. It's pretty fun.
Ashley's out the window with her wings clipped. Bravo, Jack. Did you see that? That was awesome. Oh, yeah. Jack did a good job.
Skip to here if you don't want to get spoiled about the rest of the game. Oh, you're still here? That's fine. So the Death Watch organizers figure out that Jack is working with someone outside. That person being Amala, the intelligence at the CIA or some shit. And Noah, one of the organizers, realizes, holy shit! Jack is a 3-time Death Watch champion, and also is 100% going after the mayor's daughter, who is still in the city. In the end, the mayor's daughter is actually enjoying the show and is staying voluntarily. Then Jack tries to figure out how Death Watch was made in such a short amount of time, which Agent 13 tells him, hey, there's a pharmaceutical company that made the vaccine and the virus, go check it out. And he meets Leo. Leo's a piece of shit who wanted to actually just watch people die and also make money off of the vaccine. And so you meet with the Black Baron, who is the champ. Now this fight is the shit!
You see my swag, now you wanna come and give me all this drag. I think you better back, because my hand is itching to give you a smack. What's your name again, Jack? It's the end of the road and ain't no turning back. Don't let the fly taste fool ya. Matter of fact, it's about time that I school ya. Don't worry, I'm not in a hurry. I don't even wanna get my fresh gear dirty. A little birdie, chirp pretty flurry. Now I'm a snip, but I better yet bury your entity. Look at me while I'm talking. I heard you was lurking. I wasn't even stalking my program. Thinking you the man in the place. Now it's about time you get your hand to the face. Look, pimpin', I ain't playing. In a minute, you're gonna be laying on the ground. I ain't messing around. My city, my rules, my money, my town. Look, pimpin', I ain't playing. In a minute, you're gonna be laying on the ground. I ain't messing around. My city, my rules, my money, my town. Real tilted, cold-coated, fresh to death. Literally, I do kill it. Blood spilling in this game of death. Yeah, you hear the announcer, but ain't no ref. I just kept hearing your name too much, and that's it. Now I just came to touch your backbone with a boot. I came to the tooth. It don't take much now, ain't that the truth? My boo got a thing for you. She really likes money, but the pain would do. You can't hang you a featherweight. I can't believe that you made it this far.
I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, baby, I'm so cold. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, baby, I'm so cold. I tell them cool that conversation, what you dealing with is nationwide, live wire style when they rock. Now you fixed your fried work. I ain't fixed a lot of truth, but I be telling right. I sell that rhyme raw. You forget to cut your ass and die. Yeah, that's the definite. My pimp game excellent, it's effortless. Why your cat style sounding celibate? I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, baby, I'm so cold. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, baby, I'm so cold. Yeah, the bottom line is y'all ain't fucking it right. I beat it up until the fucking guts busting inside. Cause see a soldier, see that man a problem, but ain't a motherfucker on the earth that can solve him. Feel like a young prize fighter with a pair of punchlines like a shotgun caught you with your chin. I'm cold. Listen close and listen good, you in the dig. I'm only gonna throw this shit out there one time, and you better motherfucker ride receive it. If you can't keep up, you might wanna adjust your motherfucking tempo. I ain't talking too fast, you're just listening too motherfucking slow.
And in the end,
Now.
we get this line.
Help me, or I'm gonna...
I don't help people. I kill them.
Mad World is a wonderful game, and I could sit here and tell you about every nook and cranny of every stage. But I want people to experience it for themselves. If you got time on your hands, 3 to 4 hours, get yourself comfortable and try this game out. It's quick, it's fun, it's stupid, and it's one of those games out there I really wish had more sequels. The license is Sega's, and I don't know if it's even a possibility to bring back Mad World. I hope they do something with it, though chances are very low. Videos like this could help it if it gets enough traction. I've seen just a few videos about Mad World, and I hope I made people want to try this game as much as I wanted to come back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go get Mad World on an emulator or Wii, and please share this video, like and subscribe would be really nice from you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
How can you move when they try and put what he say down? See, that's the discipline. I push mute on these actors and go hard so these little disputes ain't a factor. I gotta get my name up in the rafters and make it so only real shit is coming right after. Let's go. Lord help me save my soul.